What? Small talk. What the hell? That is... Holy shit, what's happening now? I'm so confused. What the hell? That's her, right? It's gotta be, right? The freaking ghost lady, what is going on? She's got a necklace, a mysterious necklace. I'm so sorry that I don't understand. I wonder what it says. It might be a secret key or something. I don't know. What is going on? I'm really confused now. Okay. Oh well. Going with her attire, I would say that she's one of the housekeepers. She's a person now. This is so weird. Strange, considering I've sent all of the staff but Johannes away. And her face, as pretty as it is, isn't familiar to me. It would be a lie if I said that I didn't set me on edge. Most would say that I care little for my employees. That isn't entirely untrue. However, I like to think I know the people who work for me, especially those who would roam my home even if it's just a face and a name. Besides, I will remember beauties such as her. So, who is she? If she is someone impersonating a household staff to get in, she's doing a bad job of it.
Didn't you get the memo? Are you new? Today is a day off. You aren't supposed to be here.
I expect poor excuses and apologizes, the likes of her often give, but she merely smiles.
Oh, no. I've been a servant here since you first came.
Yeah, she's been a servant here forever, like since she died. I mean, not since she died, but... Okay, you know what I mean. And I see no signs of lying, nor hear it in her words. Yeah, they can't be true. But I find it I feel like I can relax. She has that sort of smile that makes one's kindness shine through without words or action. It reaches her eyes, filling them with a strange sort of mirth, as if she just thought of something very funny. Perhaps had it been any other person, I would have interpreted it as a deceitful grin. But the curl of her lips and the shine of her eyes are too soft to hold any malice. She takes my silence as a sign that she can continue. And it's not like I feel any urgency to stop her. I'm not really in the mood for company, but I'm not adverse to it at the moment either. Entertaining a beauty like her, even for a little while, wouldn't hurt. It helps that she proves easy to listen to, despite how oddly she speaks.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't have bothered you. Look at me, talking to the master of the house without even asking for permission. What will the others think? If you'll excuse me, I'll just...
I haven't driven you away yet, have I? And it's your day off. I don't see why we can't chat a bit.
Of course. If that is what you wish. As long as it does not get you into trouble with the lady. To even take time for someone as lowly as me. No wonder that everyone under the mansion's employ is so fond of you. Though it should have no longer been a surprise to me. You have always been such a kind and loving lord.
I have to stop myself from calling her out on her shite. It's almost as if she's talking about an entirely different man. No matter how big my ego gets, I know for a fact that I'm hardly in the running for Best Boss of the Year award. The only reason that most of my staff stays is because of the decent compensation. I'm not cheap. But if she wants to lay it on thick, I'll allow it. Who wouldn't want a beautiful woman complimenting them?
I'm sure she'll be fine with this. We are just talking after all. Unless you had other things on your mind when you approached me.
The words leave my mouth before I even realize what I've said. I panic a bit. Though I can get away with picking up women out in the city. Sometimes even out of the country. I've always taken care not to do so in my home or in my business. businesses. Not when it'll be so easy for Hana to find out about my infidelity, though through these channels. Though seriously, I still don't see what the big deal about it is. I just have an itch I need to scratch.
I know it must be amusing to see a girl flustered for a man of your stature. But please don't say such things, my lord. I saw you alone and simply thought you could use some company.
Thankfully, and I do count my lucky stars, it seems the woman takes it as a joke rather than the casual pass it had intended to be.
So how are you liking your work around the mansion? The place is wonderful, but I imagine the upkeep is ungodly with all the rooms and whatnot. I don't even want to think about how many people are on the staff roster.
Work is work, my lord. It is a way of living. A purpose from day to day. It is certainly far better than doing nothing or having no food to eat. The house itself is also beautiful. There's no lack of things to look at. I'm sure you've seen those books in the study. I can't read any of them yet, but if given the chance, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be thinking of those things, especially when the rains, they might bring more work to us soon. It will definitely be much more difficult when it returns. Idling about is the least I should be doing.
I guess you can put it that way if you want to be brutally honest about the whole thing. And the rain shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. Maybe.
If a little dreary, at least she doesn't beat around the bush. I like the honesty. Many would bemoan their status as a household staff, as a janitor or other menial role, and believe themselves to be for greater things. And I would not begrudge the idea that one can always get better, but one shouldn't be so discontent with what they have either.
The rain is something I simply must get accustomed to if I am to live here. I've not spent long in this place after all, but I have been told that it has rained in this nation since a mother's time and their mother's time. There is little we can do about it. I am just glad to have time in the sun, even for a short while.
Isn't that the truth? Really, these sunny days have been welcome, though I can't imagine they'll last for long. Sometimes I just want to pack my things and leave for somewhere like, say, the Bahamas or whatnot. Get some sun and surf.
But certainly, you will return for us, won't you? This is your home, after all. Your people. They won't be pleased if the master of the house leaves.
Of course, I can't very well leave my businesses hanging here, can I? I just wish I could actually trust people enough to go on vacation without taking work with me. I've also got to get back here if I ever want proper meals. A proper pudding is something you'll never find out there.
The woman nods in understanding, and I must say that she makes for a fine listening ear. Though what she says next gives me pause, whether she meant for me to hear it or not.
And good tea. From what the cook has been telling me, I've yet learned how to prepare one. Perhaps once I do, it would endear the lady of the house to me. I never expected her to be so unkind after what she did for me, though it's only if one catches her in a foul mood. I wish I knew how to avoid her anger.
I highly doubt she means Hana. So that was the lady... what's her name again? Jeez. It's not good to take such a long break from the game. Well, the lady who lived there, the other blonde. Well, we know who... We all know who we're talking about, so... That woman really has a mean bone in her body. Because she was the one who, did the whole witch hunt thing. And she killed her. So I guess, yeah, this is basically just what she looked like when she was alive. It's weird as she can, take the form of her to pass off. Maybe have to do with this necklace. Or perhaps she actually was a freaking witch. That would have been cool. Maybe. I mean, it makes sense in a way, I guess, since this is a supernatural video game after all. So why wouldn't there be actual witches? And when she actually is nasty towards someone else, it's usually deserving enough. Much like with that Rochelle woman. Hell, she even tolerates Harvey for me, even if she did admit that she doesn't quite like the man. She must mean the head housemaid, right? I have to laugh at that. Now that I have room to speak, I don't deal with her myself anymore, though. Even Johannes has a few choice words about the head hag. She's been under the right employee when she was also head housemaid for my father. And if anyone's not going to get along with someone, it'd be that crotchety old woman. I don't even remember her name, but the woman had been this strict. Upstart bitch who took one look at me, her master's bastard son, and turned her nose up, as if she were better by mere consequence of birth. That and she absolutely loathed my very existence. Perhaps the rumors had been true. She had a miscarriage while bearing another one of the dearest father's children, and she saw me as an obstacle to her being granted a better standing in life. I remember that much at least. The only reason I haven't sacked her yet is because of her competence. Also because working under my household makes her absolutely miserable. Her resignation made impossible by her pride.
Nobody really gets along with that woman. I think everyone just tolerates her because of how old she is. I mean, not to be rude or awful or anything, but she's at the age where she'll be pushing daisies soon enough.
Is she? Really, my lord? I'm sure the lady is much younger than that.
I think the thought of tormenting the young and beautiful gives her reason to live.
It does seem that way, though I feel sorry for her. One's life should not be wasted away on hatred and anger. It is never good for the heart or the head to always carry ill thoughts. But at the least, you are here for us. We are certainly so lucky to have a lord like you. The lady even more so. The gods smile down on her. Though, if I may be honest, she is to be envied.
Even when I have my suspicions about her, she's just so easy to talk to that I've forgotten. I don't know who she is and if she's actually one of the household staff. That would explain why she would so easily give obviously wrong statements about my character. Yeah, that's because she's talking about the previous lord, blonde, hot blondie dude or whatever, who lived here. So he was a good person, and his wife, the lady, she killed her, she burned her. It's pretty, pretty hardcore. Though she is here for malicious reasons, she would have done more than do small talk with me by now, wouldn't she? I have so many questions. Perhaps curiosity will kill this cat.
It's strange that I've never seen you before. What's your name?
You do not remember?
I don't believe you've mentioned it, or am I missing something?
You still cannot comprehend it, can you, my lord?
So, or maybe, was I freaking right? Are these people the same people back in those days? But they don't... What? This is kind of interesting. But they're not. They're obviously not vampires, because he doesn't remember. If that is the case, obviously, perhaps she's just, casting a weird spell on him right now, but if that is true, then I suppose, the whole getting reborn and stuff. Okay, I have no idea. But I mean, they do look strikingly alike. It's very odd, Her answer chips away at the good mood I'm starting to get into. I have every right to be angry at the cryptic response. She threatens insubordination with her very presence alone. Oh wait, you know what? So if the whole them getting reborn and stuff would be true, then shouldn't he be Wouldn't he be, the past lady? Because their personality seems to be more accurate, I suppose. Right? Right? They switched places? They switched bodies? Maybe that's why they don't remember? Maybe she put a spell on them before, I don't know, before she got killed. Or, this is weird. Moving on. I have every right to be angry at the cryptic response. She threatens insubordination with her very presence alone. But instead of hurling vitriol at the woman, I take a deep breath. I do not want my mood ruined further than it already is. Not right now, when I can let my temper take its course another time.
Whatever your name is, and no matter how long you've been working for us, that does not change the fact that you shouldn't be here. I'll call you a cab to bring you to the city if you want.
Shouldn't I? What if I do not wish to leave? I merely desire to stay by your side and serve. Is that such a deplorable thing?
Or maybe a bit more realistic-ish. Theory would be that she is simply associating her previous lady and master with whoever is owning the estate. Because if I remember correctly, no one was really living in the estate, even though people owned it. They weren't living there. But I mean, it's gotta be fate in a way or another that they look so alike, the previous lady and master, so that is kind of odd. Oh well. I say that a lot, don't I? Oh well. Her gaze sends chills down my spine. It's too easy to see the devotion, the obsession in her eyes. Not a good sort either, as her scrutiny makes me feel like I'm laid bare. The offness of her presence is all the more palpable with the feeling of bugs crawling on my skin, and the silence that makes it seem as if the world has stopped. Any friendly atmosphere we might have had going for us is completely forgotten. Danger. A small part in the back of my mind screams. The part that has kept me alive all these years. And in hindsight, I'd be stupid not to take heed of it. But I've grown arrogant, complacent, and content to hide behind wealth and power.
Yes, it's a deplorable thing, as you said, because I'd like to be alone now. Thank you very much. If you didn't want the day off, you should have reported to your superior. This is utterly unprofessional of you, and I shall be issuing complaints. In fact, if you know it's good for you, you should start looking for another employer.
It's that my fret, the smile on her face turns tight.
I see. It escapes you still. This is unfortunate. How despairing that this misery must go on. But maybe, if you come with me, I can help you. I can...
When she reaches out for me, I recoil with a hiss.
How dare you lay your filthy hands on me without my permission? I am not going anywhere with you. Now step back and walk away before I have you forcibly removed.
Oh gosh, okay. Hello there. As if a switch had been flipped, the woman's expression turns horrific. Although that may very well be the understatement of the century. Okay, just take her fucking necklace, dude. Just take it and she will be gone forever, I'm sure of it. Okay, just rip it off. She herself turns horrific. Her presence is suffocating, bearing down on me. rooted on the spot, though no fault of my own as my fear paralyzes.
You are too much like that vile woman. Poisoned by her rotten influence and her filthy words.
Exactly, guys. Am I right? Okay, this is not the time. We gotta stay alive.
But that can be remedied now that you're here. Oh, how we have waited to welcome you home.
See, this is weird.
Come, my lord. The house beckons.
When her fingers grasp back on my coat, I finally find it in me to break off into a run. Dude, run! I can still feel her eyes on me as I run back to the house, but I refuse to acknowledge it, let alone look back. All I need is to get away from her and to make sure she stays away. If that means acting like a coward and seeking out company to keep me safe, nobody can tell me to do otherwise. Bravery isn't something to be lauded if it comes along with stupidity. Okay, I'm just gonna... There we go. It must have been a sight to see the usually composed and reserved look right bursting through the doors. Not that I have much of an audience unless there are other staff members who's choosing to disregard my orders for them to leave. Really, I still doubt that woman is one of the staff. Mustering up the courage, I look back through the windows to see if she followed me. She's gone. But I don't take any chances, putting as much distance as I can between us. Oh, okay. Stopping to catch my breath, Johan's sudden appearance nearly makes me jump out of my skin.
Don't fucking do that, you son of a bitch! If I had a gun, I would have shot you!
If I had any love left for my mutter, I'd take offense. But what happened to you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, if only it were such a delusion. But I can still feel her sharp nails digging into my back. The feeling was too real for it to have been a ghost.
There was his housekeeper. I think, I'm not sure. In the gardens. She was acting odd and I thought to remove myself from the scene.
Strange. I made sure the rest of the staff had left and that the house was empty, as you requested. Describe this woman.
She had pale skin, dark eyes, and long dark hair. She wouldn't give me her name.
I have a suspect name from him. The man knows his staff better than I do, after all. But instead of an answer, he grows quiet. I'm pretty sure that is not a good thing. I'm even more worried when the other man looks me over. I have to protest when he pulls back my collar.
What in the bloody hell are you doing?
Checking for marks. Needle marks, to be exact. We don't have anyone like that among the staff. You could have easily been kidnapped.
A cold feeling settles itself over me at the thought. I've long established my power over the more unsavory characters in Luxport. Or I thought I did. And the most harm I thought that could come to me would be slander, robbery, or incarceration. Kidnapping? An attempt on my own person? I've forgotten that I'm as human, as moral, as any other man despite my wealth and status.
Fortunately, you look unharmed. But I advise that you be accompanied by trusted individuals at all times from now on. If not me, an assigned guard. I'll be informing them of this soon, as they return from their day in the city.
Already, I can feel the energy leave me at the realization of what could have been.
All right. Yes, I suppose we should do that. But I think I'd like to call it a day. I should be safe in bed, yes?
I'll stand guard outside for the night. The madam has been inquiring about you, by the way.
A guard. Any other threat and he alone would be enough to make me feel safe. But what I saw, whatever it is I saw, would one man be enough?
That's all well and good, but there's something else. That housekeeper, she...
Luke, you're home. I was worried about you.
The grin that I can muster is probably lopsided. Forced as I snapped my mouth shut to keep myself blabbing about witches and monsters, because here I am, standing in the hallway, dirt on my dirt on my pant legs, and sweat dotting my forehead. A far cry from my usually pristine condition. I don't want to worry Hana. Cough.
What happened to you? You look like you wrestled in the mud and lost, dear. And those flowers. Were you gardening?
What? Oh, these. I didn't realize I still had them.
I really did not. But there they are, still in my grip. The daffodils I had taken from the garden. Even in the wake of my flight, I had refused to let go of them, whether I was conscious of it or not.
Shall I put them in a vase?
Should I? We could give them to Hana, I suppose. Why not? I guess. Yeah. Perhaps I did it to save face. Maybe a small part of me really had planned to take them for her. But like a young man, you know, I can't. Okay, I'm a little bit worried that perhaps getting them, you know, good relationship would cause something horrible to happen. I don't know. We'll see. But like a young man presenting flowers to a Valentine's, I awkwardly thrust a bouquet in Hana's direction.
They're for you.
These are lovely, thank you. But aren't these?
Yeah, the surprise is to be expected. And the open-ended question needs little interpretation. I never given her daffodils before. Especially not from ones that I considered mine.
They're for you. Don't make me think that kneeling around in the dirt was a waste of my time.
It's not. It's not. Just... Are you feeling all right? I hope whatever I have isn't contagious.
I'm not sick, Hana. I just got them for you. I thought they'd make you feel better, brighten up the room. I don't need my intentions questioned. The thank you was enough.
And I didn't mean to insinuate anything. But you are right. Thank you, truly, for these.
She takes them for me then, carefully not to crush the stems. There is still uncertainty on her face, which endures and annoys me in equal parts. But she does look lovely with them. The mirror picture of her something that should be immortalized in paint. They should be for Mother. But it doesn't matter anymore.
Why don't we turn in for the night? You must be exhausted with all that gardening.
What does a dead woman care for flowers? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Waiting some alone time in fresh air. Wanting. Jeez. Okay. There's the charm. Wanting some alone time in fresh air. Luke exhausts himself, lingering in the gardens as he remembered the memory of his late mother. Suddenly, a beautiful woman appeared by his side, striking up a conversation with him. It was all pleasant at first until...